Welcome to this video guide where we'll be running through the different types of gloves that are out there, their features, and how you can go about sizing them. Motorcycle gloves are another key piece of equipment that is always a good idea to have on the bike. Not only do they, depending on the glove, protect your hands from impacts, the road, and the weather, but they can also come with extra features that can make your ride a bit more comfortable. Before we get going with looking at the different types of glove categories and what they mean, just a quick word on motorcycle gloves in general. As far as safety, leather and textile are both going to be safe, since if you're getting quality gloves, they're going to be certified to CE Level 1 or even supplemented with the PREN standard. Depending on the category, you also get short and long cuts, and long cuts will give you more coverage, while short cuts will give you a little bit better airflow and flexibility. With that over with, let's move on. Just a quick reminder to subscribe and check out the rest of our YouTube channel, where we've got plenty of glove guides and reviews to help with letting you know what features are coming with different gloves. So let's start with street gloves, which will also include other categories like urban or casual gloves. These are usually going to be a more stylish pair of gloves, and more often than not, they're made of leather and come with a short cuff. So in general, they'll be good for hotter weather riding, since they usually come with perforations, and they also offer a great level of convenience, since you usually see touchscreen friendly fingertips, and they're going to be easy to slip in and out of. However, the downsides of these gloves will be that they won't do great in tougher weather conditions, or you'll have to get a waterproof glove if you want to ride in the rain and the cold, and they usually offer only a more basic level of heart protection. Next up is your race and sport glove. It's important to make a slight distinction here. While race gloves are pretty much always going to be full cuff, made of leather, and are going to take you out on the track, sport or sport touring gloves will come in a mix of long and short cuffs, and will also be made sometimes even of textile. So the pros of race and sports gloves will be the higher level of protection in the knuckle, titanium heart protectors, and protection all the way up the wrist, including additional inserts. They're usually made of the best materials available, whether that's kangaroo or petards or even goat leather, and lastly, they'll offer high-end racing features such as grip patches. However, this comes at the cost that they are rarely weatherproof, unless they're for sport touring, and they'll also come in at a higher price due to the amount and type of leather used. Next, we come to touring gloves. These are usually going to be focused on giving you a maximum level of protection from the weather. So this is where you'll be seeing a lot more of your waterproof and insulating liners, and as a result, these gloves are usually made of textile, though you also do get leather sometimes. You'll also sometimes see some additional features like visor wipers, though this depends on the glove. This means the pros for touring gloves will be their high focus on weatherproofing and comfort. You'll also sometimes get some nice extra features as well that will lend themselves well to touring, including touchscreen fingertips as well. However, the downsides of these additional liners is that you may lose some feeling in the gloves, and they won't be very breathable unless you get a perforated version. Adventure gloves are going to be offering you a mix of different features, since it sits between touring and off-road. So these gloves are usually made of a mix of leather and textile for maximum ventilation, but also a good level of abrasion resistance in the palm. Usually these are going to be short gloves, and they're going to give you a high level of comfort and stretch. So the pros of these gloves will be their ventilation, comfort, and flexibility, since they're trying to offer you a bit of touring and a bit of off-road. However, the downside of this is that they are not usually very waterproof, and depending on the glove, they sometimes go a little lighter on the protection. With these glove categories over with, there are a few things to mention regarding different fits to keep in mind. Usually you get gloves that are either regular or slim, so it's important to keep in mind what your hand shape is. Regular fit gloves, sometimes called American, are going to be wider across the knuckle, will be wider in the fingers, and will also be shorter in the fingers. In contrast, slim, race, or European fit means that you get a slimmer gloves that will hug your hand more closely. You'll get a narrower width across the hand, longer fingers, and thinner fingers as well. When you try your gloves on, make sure that they hug your hand snugly, but you should still be able to move your hand comfortably. Now that you have your glove and your fit in mind, we can finally get to sizing. There are two ways that manufacturers will measure sizing, which is your hand circumference or your hand width. So it's always important to check out their sizing guides to make sure you're using the right method. To measure your hand circumference, you'll want to take a flexible tape measure, got one here, and measure around the palm of your hand or on the same height as your knuckles. For hand width, you need to measure the widest point of your hand above your thumb, but just underneath the knuckles. You can do this either on a table or a hard surface, or up in the air by draping the tape over your hand. Though keep in mind that some gloves won't run true to size, so it's important to also try the gloves on without riding and to try out how they feel. If you'd like to go for a pair of motorcycle gloves, then make sure to head to championhelmets.com, where we have a lowest price guarantee, and if you have any questions, you can always reach out to us via telephone, email, or on our live chat on our website. This guide has covered the basics of what you should keep in mind when looking at or buying a pair of motorcycle gloves. But it's still always a good idea to check out more info on the gloves themselves. To help you out though, we've regularly uploaded product reviews and seasonal guides for gloves and more, and we regularly do this on a weekly basis. If you like the video, then make sure to subscribe and stay updated on the latest gear and let us know what you think down below. I'm Sebastian from Champion Helmets, and thanks for watching.